Do your tarot readings not resonate? Do you struggle putting together the cards in an accurate tarot reading? I have 5 ways to troubleshoot your inaccurate tarot readings so your readings will offer clarity, guidance, and insights. And you can feel confident slinging the cards. Welcome to It's a Witchy Life podcast, where we explore the world of witchcraft and tarot to elevate your practice and live your best witchy life. Sometimes you're putting down the cards and you're like, I don't know what this means, or your reading is giving you answers that you're just like, what does it even mean? So here are my 5 ways to troubleshoot that. 1. Reconnect with your intuition. Your intuition really comes into play when you do a tarot reading, because with tarot, you pick up on energies of a situation or a person that you're reading on, and you don't just get the answers from your cards. There's something within your intuition. For me, how it works, I think it works differently for everybody. But for me, I get a card and I know what the specific keyword is for that. So I sort of talk myself through how this card would apply to the situation or the question asked. And then usually sometimes something will pop into my head, something will pop in my brain that I'm like, oh, it could also mean that it is this. Or sometimes a card could show 2 different sides of things. So I talk out loud about both of these things, and then I'll feel intuitively which one is correct, which one is the right one that I should go with. If you feel like you have a lot of trouble connecting to your intuition, for me it was really hard to do in the beginning, and I found it really hard to read intuitively. One way to reconnect with your intuition is to meditate. I am currently reading the book Wicca by Harmony Nice, and she has some really great meditation practices, exercises in there that I am excited to try out. But you can put on any meditation music or a guided meditation that helps you reconnect with your intuition or that helps you ground a little bit. You can also use crystals to help you with this. The crystals that I really like to use when I do a tarot reading are fluorite and amethyst. Fluorite helps me to concentrate and to talk more clearly. It's also a crystal that has really helped me personally within my burnout, where I get brain fog and everything. So when I take my little piece of fluorite, sometimes I even like put it to my head, and it feels really nice and cold. But I will just focus and concentrate on what I want to do. I close my eyes, I take a couple of breaths, and like, I don't know how this shit works, okay? But for me, it has been working, where I'm not saying like crystals cured my burnout, because they didn't, but they really helped me to focus more on my reading and what I'm doing. And the other crystal is amethyst. And amethyst is a crystal that can help you connect to your intuition, because it helps you, I think it's both connected to your third eye chakra and your crown chakra. Don't quote me on that, because I am not a chakra expert, but it can help you connect to your intuition. So I really like having amethyst handy for a reading. Oftentimes before I do a reading and I need to connect to my intuition, like I said, I'll take the crystals and I listen to some like spiritual music, or oftentimes I just really like to listen to lo-fi music. It's really, I don't know, it's vibey and it calms me down. So I'll put in my AirPods, put them on noise cancelling, so I'm really in the music. I'm turning it up quite loudly sometimes. And then I have my crystals, close my eyes, and I just breathe, and that makes me totally ready to do a tarot reading. Other factors that can play a role in you not connecting with your intuition is, first of all, your mindset is not really there. Maybe you're experiencing brain fog. Like, I know what brain fog is with my burnout. I feel like I mention this every video, but I do think it's really important to be in the right mindset before you do a reading. So again, the little exercise that I just shared with you with listening to the music, concentrating on the crystals, and just breathing, that really helps me to put me in the right mindset before a tarot reading. And if I feel like that isn't working, then I just either I don't do a reading, or I pull the cards, I write them down, and I'm gonna interpret them a different time, or I'm gonna reinterpret them a different time. And the last factor that can prevent you from connecting to your intuition is that you're not really connected with the deck that you're using. Maybe you're finding it very hard with a new deck, or you are just having trouble connecting with the tarot deck that you're pulling from. And I would encourage you to just take your time to connect with it and read through it, like look through all of the images to see what it tells you. Read some bits of the guidebook if you want to look at how the creator of the deck meant for the deck to be read, if that makes sense. So those are some ways that you can reconnect to your intuition. The second reason why you might have an inaccurate tarot reading at your hand is because you're lacking structures. I am a big advocate on using tarot spreads for your readings, especially if you're a beginner, but sometimes, like, I use tarot spreads all the time, okay? I love using tarot spreads because they give you a structure within the reading. Sometimes you're asking a question, or even for like a daily check-in, if you pull a card, you're not really sure. You can't always be sure, I should say, on what that tarot card is referring to. And if you do like a past, present, future type of spread, like even as simple as that, if you pull a card in the past position, it's going to mean something totally different from when you pull it in the future position. So that is why I think using tarot spreads is incredibly important. I do have a free ebook available where I share 9 of my favorite and short tarot spreads. I'm also working on like a toolkit library where I'm going to put that in so you can get access to all of my free resources. But let's see, if we were to do a reading right now, and we're going to take a look at just a check-in for right now. You can think of whether you want this to be for the upcoming week. And the spread that we're going to be using is what you need to hold on to, what you need to let go of, and an advice to go with that. And again, if you pull a card for the let go, it's going to be interpreted completely different from what you need to hold on to. So let's take a look. Hold on to, we have the 6 of Wands. Let go of, we have the Queen of Swords. And then the advice, we have the Empress. So again, we would interpret this completely different if the same cards were in different spread positions. So for the hold on to, we have the 6 of Wands. I'm using the white Newman deck here. So what you need to hold on to is your confidence. You are allowed to be more confident. You're allowed to be more prideful in what you have achieved and in how amazing you are, basically. And you should give yourself a little bit more credit with your achievements and just what kind of an amazing person you are. And if I were to pull this in the let go position, that would have meant that you had to let go of your ego a little bit, you know? So it's completely different. And here in the let go, we have the Queen of Swords, which is honesty. And usually I would say, well, honesty is a really good thing. It's something that I pride myself on being like a lot. And I do get a lot of comments of people appreciating my own honesty. But here it's saying, well, maybe you need to be a little less blunt and your opinion doesn't always have to be heard all of the time. You don't have to chime in on every topic all of the time to everybody. So that is what the Queen of Swords would have to say here. And then with the advice is Empress, take some time to take care of yourself. I love self-care, you guys. I love when readings tell me that I have to take better care of myself. Because I do love some self-care. So that is like really short how I would interpret this reading. And again, the structure of the tarot spread really made it easy for me to interpret these cards, and I knew exactly what they meant like as I pulled them. The third reason that you have an inaccurate tarot reading is that your question wasn't clear and you need to clarify your question. Think of it this way. I am a teacher, I'm a 4th grade teacher, and if a kid asks me a question about a topic and I don't understand their question, then how could I give an answer to them, you know? And the same goes for tarot. If you ask your tarot deck like a super vague question, how are you gonna be able to interpret the answer? And is a tarot deck going to be able to get you a card that can give you a clear answer? So I really like to start my questions with either how can I, where do I need to, or what do I need to know about? So how can I improve in my self-care? How can I improve in my relationship? How can I be better at my job? How can I get a promotion at work? How can I attract the person that I am interested in? These all are very specific questions because they're starting with how can I, and that means that the cards that you're getting are advice. They are advice cards. It's not an interpretation of the situation. It's not anything like that. It is your advice. The fourth reason that you have an inaccurate tarot reading is that you're not using additional resources. My favorite additional resources are books, because when you look at a tarot card, here I have the White Moon and the Six of Wands again, there are a lot of layers here. So first of all, we have the Six of Wands, we have the number 6, and we have the Wands suit, which is connected to the element of fire. Those are already 2 layers within this tarot card. Then we have the imagery, we have this specific person, we have the setting, we see a little full moon here in the card. Those are all additional layers that are adding to this tarot card. Then we also have the colors. They are very warm, they are very red. That is an additional layer that we can add to the cards. If you know the astrological association with the Six of Wands, I don't off the top of my head, but that is another additional layer that you can add to the tarot cards. So maybe it is a good idea for you to expand your tarot knowledge and to add these additional layers of knowledge. So 3 books that I want to recommend for you here. If you want to add astrology to your tarot readings, you can use the book Tarot and Astrology. It goes through the links between the tarot cards and astrology, like the planets, the zodiac signs, different placements, all of that. It is really in depth. I think it's really great. I know a lot of you are doing the Deccan walk right now, and the Tarot and Astrology book is really great for that as well. If you want to add numerology to your readings, then you can use the book Numerology and Tarot, or Tarot by Numbers. I have neither because numerology is not something that I'm into studying right now, but I have heard great things about both of these books, so you can get to using your new knowledge of numerology in the tarot cards and in your tarot readings. And then the third one is symbology. And I really like the Ultimate Guide to Tarot that I have, and that goes through every card and it shows you the symbols, and then it says in what other cards you can find those same symbols, what they mean, all of that good stuff. And I really like using symbology as well because it helps you with intuitive reading as well, because once you know the symbology, the symbolism in tarot, then you can use that with your intuition to see like, oh, so that is what these symbols mean. And sometimes you pick on one symbol over another, or one symbol feels more important than another. And then the fifth reason that your tarot reading might be inaccurate is that you lack the basic knowledge of tarot. If all of the above doesn't help with troubleshooting your inaccurate tarot reading, then maybe you should go back to basics. And there's nothing wrong with that, because that is something that you can learn. One way to help you with this is to get a book. Again, I really like the Ultimate Guide to Tarot. My best friend recommended it to me. She loves it. I love it. So that is one resource that you can use to help you. Another one is to get a tarot course. Now, I, of course, have my own tarot course, The Confident Tarot Reader. I recently completely redid it. I don't know if it is up yet by the time this goes live, because I am currently offering my course on Udemy, but I'm completely redoing it and improving it. And anybody who has already enrolled in my previous one, Tarot 101 or Learn Tarot, you will get access to the Confident Tarot Reader as well. If these 5 ways to troubleshoot your inaccurate tarot readings were helpful for you, then you might also like my tips on how to interpret the tarot cards in a reading. Click the video on the screen right now to watch that. Subscribe for more tarot chats and deck reviews. Thank you so much for listening to the It's a Witchy Life podcast, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!